Hey guys, how you doing? Today we're going to be having a look at the riffs from Are You Dead Yet by Children of Bodom. This was requested by Calvin Klein. Thank you for the request, man. Now, the tuning for the song is going to be Drop C, and I'm going to be showing you how to play it in Drop D exactly as you would play it in Drop C. So with that in mind, guys, let's have a look at the intro riff. Alright guys, so the intro is going to be starting off like this. Alright, so we're going to be starting off doing 2 palm mutes on the low open 6th string. On the 5th string, we're going to play 5, and then we're going to go back to that palm mute. Now we're going to hammer off from 5 to 6 on the 5th, and then we're going to pick 5 with vibrato, so. Now we're going to repeat the same thing, but once we get to the point in which we're going to hammer on from 5 to 6, we're just going to pick 5, pick 6, and vibrato 6, and that will be the end of it. So here's how the second part would go. Back to back. Alright, now we have this part. So we're going to be starting off the same way, 2 palm mutes, 5 on the 5th string, 1 palm mute, and then a hammer on from 5 to 6 on the 5th. Now keep in mind, the only difference here is that you're going to need to do this with your ring and pinky now, so because you're going to need that index finger to play a double stop on the 4th and 3rd string. So we're going to be playing the 3rd fret on the 4th and the 3rd with our index bar. So now we're going to play 6, 5, 6 palm muted on the 5th string. So we have. Now we're going to do the same idea with the whole double stops now on the 5th fret. And then again. And then now back to the 3rd fret. And now we're going to play only the 6th fret palm muted. So the riff, this part of the riff would be. Alright, now after that we're going to repeat the 2 parts from before. But now there's a slight difference. The second part, we're going to add a pinch harmonic at the end. So essentially what we're going to do now after the. Alright, now what we're going to do after this is that we're going to repeat the 2 parts before this. But now there's going to be a slight difference. We're going to add a pinch harmonic at the end of the second part. So it will be like this. You see I'm adding pinch harmonic there at the end. Okay, now after this part, there's going to be this. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to do 2 palms on the low open. 5 on the 5th. Hammer from 5 to 6 on the 5th after going back to that palm mute. So now I'm gonna play 5 on the 6th string, open on the 5th, on the 1st fret of the 5th. Now I'm gonna play 1 twice, 3rd fret on the 4th, open on the 5th twice. So we have. Now we're gonna do 3 on the 3-2 on the 4th, and then 5 on the 5th. You can play this 5 on the 5th on the open 5th string if you want. It's the same note, but I just prefer to do it like this. It's the same thing as. Alright, now what we have so far. Finally, after this, we're gonna do a gallop, but here's how the gallop is gonna go. Usually, a gallop is just would be if it were on 1 fret, for example, 0 on the 6th string, it would be like that, all the same note. But what we're gonna have here, we're gonna hit 3 once on the 6th string, palm muted, and then we're gonna do 2 open, and that's how we're gonna do the gallop. So, all right, same thing with the 2nd fret. So we have. And now we're gonna do now in power chords on the 5th string, 1 and then 3. So to recap everything so far, alright, now this whole thing, after this plays the first time, it's gonna play again, but the second time it's not gonna have the little It's just gonna end with... Alright, so that's pretty much that. Now there's gonna be the second part of this. Afterwards, it's gonna be in power chords. It's gonna be a little bit different. Here's how it's gonna go. Essentially, it's just gonna be this, repeated a couple of times, and then we go on to the second intro riff. Alright, now how this is gonna go, and it's very similar to what we had from before, but now we're gonna be dealing on the 5th string mainly with power chords. So 2 palm mutes on the low open 6th string, 5th fret of the 5th string power chord, back to that palm mute, slide from the 5th fret to the 6th fret on the 5th string with power chords, and then we play the 5th fret power chord again. And now we have, starting off the same way, but at the end we're just gonna play 5, 6 in power chords and just end it on the 6th. Now we have, so we have that little pentatonic phrase. We're gonna do 2 palm mutes on the low open, 5th fret of the 5th string power chord, and then the low palm mute again. And then we're gonna go to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. We're gonna play 3, 5, and 3 on the 4th string, and then 5 on the 5th. The first time we're not gonna palm mute anything. The second time we're gonna palm mute the notes on the 5th string. So what we have is, alright, now the last time what we're gonna do is, instead of playing 5 on the 5th, you're gonna play 3 on the 5th. So we have, so overall what we would have, alright, and that's the entirety of it. You just repeat that a couple of times. Alright guys, so these are the 2 first riffs of the intro. Let's have another look at them slowly with some tabs. Alright guys, now let's have a look at the second riff of the intro. Here's how it goes. This is going to be played a lot in the song later on, and it's just going to be always just the same thing. There's not going to be any variations to it. Here's how it goes. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to do 2 palm mutes on the low open 6th string, and then we're going to go to the 17th fret of the 2nd string, and we're going to play that. We're also going to hit 13 after that on the 1st string, so you have to keep in mind that the key here is that you need to let them both kind of ring out. So you gotta do that again. So now after that we have, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play 17 and then 13, and then I'm gonna do 17 on the 3rd string. So, and you want to let each hit kind of ring out with the 13 on the 1st string. So what we have is, alright, now you're gonna repeat the same thing again, but at the end you're not gonna do this. You're gonna do something else. So here's how it's gonna go. And what's that doing is that instead of doing that part that we had from before, we're gonna slide from 18 on the 2nd as a grace note slide to the 13th fret of the 2nd. So, and then I'm gonna play 12 on the 3rd, 13 on the 2nd, and then 12 on the 1st. So we have, and you need to keep in mind, you need to let all those ring out as kind of a major chord. So we'll have, this is definitely the trickier part to kind of get that little ring out, but it is what it is. So this whole second intro part, alright, after that there's kind of a slide out and then we go into the verse. Again, like I said, this is going to be repeating multiple times in the song. It's always gonna be these parts. There's not gonna be any variation. After the chorus, you will just kind of feel little just that before we go back into the second verse. Alright guys, so that's the entirety of the second part of the intro, the second riff. Let's have another look at it slowly with some tabs. Alright guys, now let's have a look at the verse. There's gonna be the first verse and the second verse later on. They're pretty much exactly the same except for the ending, and once we get to the ending we'll discuss that. Now we're gonna be starting off. It's gonna be on the low open 6-string palm muted, and we're gonna be doing 2 hits as 2 downstrokes and then having a rest. We do it again and again. So we have. Okay, now after taking a little bit of a larger rest now, we're gonna do the same thing, but it's gonna be with 3 hits, and all of them are downstrokes also in this scenario. So what we have is, so all together, it's important to kind of, you know, mute with your left hand after you're done with the palm mute so you get that rest properly. Okay, now after that we're gonna do the 2 strokes idea, but now on one of the 5th string. Alright, so alright, now the next part is going to use some Floyd Rose tremolo stuff, but it's not so necessary, so we can do without it. We're going to be sliding into 8 of the 5th string, and then we're going to hit it again. And then we're going to play 10 on the 4th, and then 12 on the 3rd. Now 10 on the 4th, 12 on the 3rd, and then 15 on the 2nd. 12 on the 3rd, 15 on the 2nd, and then 17 on the 1st. Oh, excuse me. There you go, it's 15, not 18. Now when you get to 17, you want to give it some vibrato, and that will be that. So, the whole thing is technically just a suspended 9th arpeggio. Alright, now after that, we're going to be playing that intro riff again, the whole thing. And then we're going to go back to the verse again. Now when we go back to the verse, here's what we're going to do. Alright, pretty simple. We're going to be doing the same way. We're going to be starting the same way with 2 strokes. After that, we're going to do the same idea, but now we're going to be doing 5 alternating strokes. So basically, alright, so we have. Now we're going to go to the 1st fret, and we're going to do, again, nothing new here. And now we're going to do the 5 hits, tremolo picking idea, going 1, 3, 5, 7 on the 5th string. So, alright, now we're gonna have this. And this is from the main riff, it's pretty much the same thing. Alright, now this is where the difference between verse 1 and verse 2 happens. Because in verse 2, you're not gonna just do. You're gonna do this. So it's a little bit extended. It's still the same idea, but instead of just going 3 and then open twice and then 2 and then open twice, you're gonna go 3, 2, 2, 1, 3, 2. So alright, just the same gallop idea. You're gonna have a fretted note and the open twice, doing a gallop, but you're gonna go 3, 2, 2, 1, and then 3, 2. And then you have the. That's it. That's the only difference between verse 1 and verse 2. Let's have another look at them slowly with some tabs. Alright guys, now let's have a look at that riff right after the first verse. Now just one thing to note here is that Alexei kind of likes to change things up a lot every time he plays. You know, if it's solos or riffs, he doesn't really stick to what he did back in the studio when he recorded this version. So if you've seen the EMG playthrough, this part is going to be played in power chords, but it's not actually played in power chords in the original studio version. Alright, so here's how it's going to go. So we're going to be starting off the same way as the main riff. But now we're going to have this, which is kind of echoing the main riff of the song. It's the same idea of hammer on from 5 to 7 though. And then a double stop on 3, palm muted 7, 5, 7. And then double stop on the 7th fret. Again, it's the same idea, but just different frets now. We're dealing with it a little bit more diatonically. Alright, now after that we're gonna be doing this. Alright, and this is kind of echoing of the main riff again. We're gonna be doing the thing with the pinch harmonic that we exactly as the same we had with the intro riff. If you already watched the intro riff part, you've got to have this pretty much figured out. So now the only different part here is that after that we're gonna be doing. We're going to do a hammer on into a pull off from 5 to 6 and then back to 5. And then we're going to have in power chords on the 6th string 5, 7, 8 and then 10. And this will lead us into the melody section afterwards. Alright guys, so that's the entirety of this part. Alright guys, so let's have a look at the melody section. Here's how it's gonna go. So we're gonna be starting off on the 12th fret of the 4th string. We're gonna play that twice and then we're gonna do 14 on the 3rd. We're gonna do that again, so... And then we're gonna do just each note once. So we have... Alright, now after that we're gonna go to the 15th fret of the 4th and we're gonna do, that's gonna be twice on 15, once on 17 on the 3rd and then once on 15. So now we're gonna do the exact same thing on the exact same frets, but just a string lower, so on the 5th string and the 4th string. So what we have is, and now we're going to go to the 13th fret of the 4th and we're going to do exactly what we did earlier on the 12th fret on the 13th fret, and we would have on the 3rd string in this case 17 on the 3rd. So and now we have, that's going to be on the 5th string 13 twice, 15 on the 4th once, and then back to 13 on the 5th just once. So far now this is the part that's gonna vary between the first time you play this and the second time. The first time we're gonna do, that's gonna be 13 on the 5th, 10 on the 5th, 12 on the 4th twice. So the second time when you play this you'll have, that's gonna be 10 on the 4th, 12 on the 5th and then 14 on the 4th twice. Alright, so the entire melody section will be like this. Alright guys, so that's the entirety of the melody section. Alright guys, now let's have a look at the chorus riff. Here's how it goes. We have two parts of the chorus. Let's go through the first one. That's the first one. Just some simple chords. We're gonna have power chord on the first fret of the 6th, open 5th string power chord, open 6th string power chord, 3rd fret 6th string power chord, and then 5th fret on the 3rd fret, excuse me, 3rd fret on the 1st string power chord. Alright, now the second part of the chorus, it essentially goes like this. It's gonna start off the same way, but it's gonna end differently. So what we're doing here is that we're gonna be starting off the same way, but instead of playing the 3rd fret of the 6th string power chord, what we're gonna do is a palm mute on the open low 6th string, and then we're gonna play that chord. That's the 3rd fret on 6th string power chord, as I said. And then the open low palm muted the 6th string again, and then we play the 3rd fret of the 5th string power chord. So we have yet another palm mute, but now we're gonna do a pinch harmonic on the 5th fret of the 6th string. Make sure you nail that and give it as much vibrato as you can. I'm quite shit off doing this on the 6th string. Alright, so that's pretty much the entirety of the chorus. You'll notice that in the second chorus, they'll have this little thing. So right after you do the first part again at the end. So after, alright, you're gonna have that little thing. It's gonna be 2 palm mutes on the low open 6th string, the 12th fret on the 6th string, and then 2 palm mutes again. And then you're gonna hit that little minor second on the 13th fret of the 6th string with vibrato. And that's pretty much it. That's the entirety of the chorus. And yeah, let's have another look at it slowly with some tabs. Alright guys, now regarding the solo section, I'm not going to be showing you the rhythm track for this. I assume most of you guys are going to want to do the solo. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Alright guys, now the outro isn't going to be that complicated. It's going to be just riffs you had from before. But there is some things you need to keep an eye for. So here's how it's going to start. So basically we're going to be starting off as that riff we had after the verse, but we're going to be doing it here, and we're going to be starting off with power chords instead of just regular notes. So alright, and then you're going to play that again, but now there's going to be just one little more difference. It's that you're going to have a pinch harmonic instead of the 6th fret of the 5th string power chord over here. So okay, now after that, you're gonna play this riff, which is a riff we had in the intro, if you remember. It's gonna have that little pentatonic. And you just repeat that until the end of the song. So technically it's just gonna be 2 variations of the riff after the verse. And then it's just gonna be that riff from the intro with a little pentatonic at the end, played until the end of the song. That's pretty much the outro. There's not really much to it other than that. Alright guys, hope you've enjoyed this lesson for the riffs from Are You Dead Yet by Children of Bodom. Be sure to check out our Patreon page in the description below. You can get some extra benefits and you can help us make more and more of these solo and riff lessons. If you guys have any requests, leave them in the comments below, whether it's a solo lesson or riff lesson. And that's pretty much that guys. Happy shredding.